What's good, everybody, fellow Nerd Adventures, YouTube? This is Green Bear with my boy Sheiv the Wise. Here to talks, here to talk some Bad Batch, Loki, whatever the hell you want to talk about, bro. We got nothing to do but wait up for this Bad Batch episode, or go to sleep and watch it in the morning. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely, definitely. I keep going back to it, finding more stuff or reading it. I'm sure everybody else is too. Oh, yeah, yeah. We got, especially. I messed up on the stream last night. I was talking about something with like a shovel. I was out of it, man. With a shovel they found in like 1958, had to do with like aim or something. But that was like from the first episode. I just got it all convoluted. It is what it is. We're here to live another day. But chat, everything working good? Our audio good? Everything? No complaints? Can't hear Sheev? Oh no. Okay, I think I got it. Let me know. How about now? Vito, you hear him? I think so. I said, what's good? Yeah. Tim, we still can't hear. Damn. Let me see. All right. It's gonna be an echo now, though, right? Talk it up a little, Sheev. Yeah, now we got an echo. No sound at all? What is going on? I mean, it seems cool, but here you clearly just know she. What is the deal? What else can I do here? Hold briefly. Vito. Talk now, Sheev.
What's up, guys? Can you hear me? Let me know. Let me know. I hope you guys can hear she. Oh, am I coming through the phone now? I think I can. I might be able to be heard.
This is the quality all right?
There he is.
All right.
Yeah, they can hear me.
I got you coming through my monitor to my microphone, so I hope that's not too bad. Tricks from
It'll
the
probably work.
trade. Sound like
What's
in
up,
space.
guys?
Oh, let me turn them up. No, never mind.
It's alright, bro. Don't stress too much. You got this.
um, audio settings. Is it good enough?
What's up?
Is it good?
Can you hear me?
Like, can you make out what he's saying? Because I got
Let
nothing.
me know, guys. I hope you guys can hear me pretty clear. She sounds like a drive-through.
I mean, is that
Sometimes
that
it
much
is.
different than normal, though? No, I'm just kidding.
Can I take your order?
It's
I
okay?
used to work at a drive-through. That's pretty funny.
All right, we're going to roll with it then. All right, so let's start this over.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. Damn. So, welcome to the break room, Sheev the Wise. Everybody knows who he is for the most part here. We got a lot of nerd Avengers. Thanks for coming through. And
Yes, yes.
where do we leave off?
We were talking about Loki a little bit, but if you want to get into Bad Batch, I don't mind getting into either, man. They're both pretty lit to me.
All right, all right. I feel like I've been talking about Loki like the past, what, 2 days straight now? Bad Batch.
I hear it.
You probably feeling the same way. But
Get into it then.
let's give the people what they want. Probably not us, but we're gonna talk about Bad Batch anyway. So, I mean, let's be honest. Everybody's done a run through of the show already. The big thing I'm finding myself thinking about afterwards, though, is what are we looking for now? I mean,
Yeah.
we got those dudes I got in the thumbnail. Two people standing on a hill calling in the Empire for backup. First thought in my
Just
head,
telling them they were there, man. They were ratting them out.
yeah.
For sure.
First thought in my head was like, give me Vader. I don't think that's happening. Who else we got?
Well, we know that being on the planet of Raka, there is a slight potential, like it's possible we could see Cal Kestis. I think that would be really cool. But I don't know, man. It's really interesting because some of the writers and I believe the composers, the Kiner brothers, they were kind of teasing something special happening this week or like a special character coming in this week. So I'm pretty interested in what's going to happen there.
Okay, okay. Hey, did Sheev's
Yeah,
sound just get better? I turned up the monitor.
let me know, guys.
That was why I paused. um, all right. What about I was just thinking too. We don't know who Fennec is working for.
Yeah, yeah, they kind of it's kind of been teased, I guess. Like obviously we know she was calling somebody at the end of the episode she was in, and they never really told us who that was. We didn't get a voice, kind of like with the whole Rex hologram thing. But
Right, right.
I still, personally, I think it was the Kaminoans that hired her, just because that kind of makes the most sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know though. It could be someone else. I have a thought other than that too. But what are you thinking, man?
I was just thinking, like, what is the Empire thinking when they get that call? Like, they got a lot of rogue clones out there. Mm,
Nah, they definitely like. Maybe there are a decent amount of rogue ones. You never really know, but
yeah.
I'm sure they instantly were like, "All right, let's go get that Bad Batch."
Vito, so you sound like an astronaut. My bad, bro. um, what
I could
else?
turn it up a little bit on my end too, if that helps.
Yeah, we got to figure out that last aspect of Ninja for the long run. I think the lag is definitely much better. This one we're using right here instead of like just using Skype. This is peer to peer. But
Yeah, I'm sure this is a little bit better.
yeah, I just gotta work out the kinks. But all right,
All good.
so we got the Empire's definitely sending somebody in. We don't know if they got Fennec working for them. Vader's probably off doing Vader things. Um,
Yeah, yeah, it's still really early in the
ooh,
Vader timeline. I'd be interested to see exactly what he's doing, and I'm kind of curious, like, what point in time we are in now, because I think, like, before this last episode, episode 7, like, before that, I think we were probably a couple weeks into the Empire, maybe like 2 or 3 at the most, and all of a sudden there was like a little time jump that we didn't really get much info about, just that they had a tab on Orb Mantell now, so...
right. What about shit, what was I just gonna say? So what about just sending in like the easy answer would be like, all right, we found these guys, now let's send in Crosshair.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
haven't
I
seen
think they're definitely the elite squad is probably going to get sent in. That's my opinion.
yeah, 'cause we haven't seen them in how many episodes now? Since episode two?
I think it was episode 3 we saw them, and it's episode 8, so it's been like 5 episodes.
Yeah, that's got to be the play. That's something that they probably be getting excited about or trying to get us excited about too.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
But if they send them there too, like right in that planet, if they could actually win that fight, they can bring Crosshair back too, which I don't think's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
yeah, I think there was actually some trailer footage early on that showed them like the elite squad showing up on Braca too, and I'm guessing that is most likely the play, and that they're gonna try and get, because they're still on the Venator. I think they're gonna try and get Crosshair and take out his chip as well.
I just saw Mr. Anderson's fucking shit, and I almost died.
What do you say?
He says he's about to get some Popeyes right now, and he's got to turn us down because they'll be confused when she's talking. I almost fell out of my
Mr.
chair.
Anderson, you want a chicken sandwich?
Damn, bro, I gotta be able to fix this. Oh man. Ooh, wait a minute. How about now?
Whatever. What's up?
Nah, you didn't change. Damn. This shit is crazy.
But yeah, I'm definitely thinking Crosshair is probably going to be in this episode. I think I was trying to find the tweet I saw earlier, because there was definitely something about us not expecting what's going to come this week. It seems so like predictable what's going to happen this week, but they're trying to tell us. Keith Kellogg, that's who it was. He's a Lucasfilm animation director on Rebels, Clone Wars, Resistance, and The Bad Batch, so literally all the animated shows.
Yeah.
And he tweeted today, I think you know what happens. If you think you know what happens this week in Bad Batch, you don't. Enjoy.
Damn.
Yeah.
Like, what do we do with that?
My first thought goes to Cal Kestis, man. It's like, all right, well, what's like the least, like from this week, I think we all kind of expect to see Crosshair, and like it's been so many episodes, and like they even have the trailer footage of him showing up on Braca. So if you're like me and dig into each little detail, if you said if you think you know what happens this week, you don't. I think I know what's going to happen this week, and if I didn't know what was going to happen this week, my second guess would be Cal Kestis, and that would be like the thing you wouldn't expect, you know?
See, I keep coming back to like, I didn't finish that game because I couldn't do it, but it was just too much work. But
it is a lot. It's a fun game though.
What? No, it definitely is. I want something like that. Just getting off track. Like they keep talking about that open world Star Wars game. I'm like pumped for that. I just want to run around rocking my own lightsaber. Like, face scan me in. Let me be the
I haven't even
ugliest
heard
Jedi.
much about it, if I'm being honest. I gotta look deeper. If you want to talk about it at some point, we definitely can.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much at all. Like all we're hearing is just an open world Star Wars game. But in my mind, my imagination goes like, I'm gonna make like a 2K basketball player, but he's a Jedi. I'm just gonna run around the park slashing people.
Dude, that would be sick. They should do something like that.
That's all I want. Like, let's just enter a battle. You know?
Yeah, man. Heck, make it in the Old Republic, why don't you?
But what I was thinking about before that was every time people say like Cal Kestis coming in, what is the timeline here? Like how long has he been? Like when the start of that game, how many years from like the point of Order 66 are we?
That's a great question, and I was meaning to look that up recently, especially like I talked to Star Wars Santa today earlier, and he was talking about some Cal Kestis stuff, and it's a really good question. I also brought up Cal on one of my last live streams, and my thought was that I didn't even know the exact time period, but with the whole Inquisitor news that we got recently, I was thinking maybe he's in that. Right. And I think that I think I heard he's around 12 at the time of the Bad Batch when Order 66 happens. So I'm guessing it's at least 5 years, if not closer to like 7 to 10 or something like that.
Yeah, see, that's what makes me think. So we're definitely not getting like a powered up Cal Kestis, because that dude's he's trying to escape now and find a job, basically.
Yeah, he'd be 12 years old in this time period.
Okay.
But it's possible he's there. And it would almost like kind of make sense in a way too when you really think about it. The beginning of the show, we had like a 14-year-old Kanan Jarrus, who was Caleb Dube at the time.
Right.
And we have Omega that enters the show. And like Cal Kestis, I guess, would kind of just fit right in. Like, and the whole thing with the first episode was Hunter almost felt bad that he couldn't help Kanan more. And then later on in the episode, after they meet Omega and everything, and the fact that she's a clone, he decides that he's gonna help her more, and that's the whole reason that they go back to Camino and that like almost like a suicide mission to go
Yeah.
save her. You know?
I mean, we could definitely lean into that a little bit too. Like, why are we ever gonna see Omega do any cool Omega things besides like barely light off a whatever kind of bow that is? You know?
Yeah, man. I mean, she at the end of that episode, she started to actually get it more, and she was nailing some of the police droids, I think. But I, I definitely agree. They're kind of dragging out her character a little bit. Like we're getting bits and pieces here and there, but like, just tell us who the heck she is. Like,
Yeah.
we want to know what her powers are. Like, she's an enhanced clone. Like, tell us why they're after her. Like,
Yeah. Something we wouldn't expect. Watch them bring like Obi-Wan back into this. But like, hey, everyone, check out my new show.
I was thinking that for a minute when we saw the hologram. I was like, nah, I wouldn't fit. That would have been cool though.
What else we got? Chat. What do you think? What do you think's coming that you wouldn't expect?
Yeah, I'm curious too. Let me know what you guys are thinking in chat.
I'm seeing a lot of Nerd Avengers here, and I love it. Love it.
Hey, way to come support, guys. Much love. What are we talking about in the chat? Vito's bringing up Suicide Squad. Was there like news on that today?
He was talking about when you're talking about the Hunter mission going back into Camino.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Vito thinks Vader. That was my first thought too. Like I said, like first thing I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's
like,
possible.
I just think
the way they tease that out.
Yeah, that's too soon too, though. You know, it'd be amazing, but.
Well, it all depends on the time jump, really. But I do think it is a little too soon. And like Vader comics that are kind of like right after Order 66. There is a little bit of time gaps in those, so it's not like congruent all the way. And definitely the first probably like couple weeks, he's really busy and doing stuff and getting accustomed to his suit and making adjustments and all these different things, getting his lightsaber.
Right.
So who knows with the Bad Batch jump? It's probably been like 7 missions that they've been on since the 6th episode, probably. But we don't have like an exact number. I think Star Wars Santa was saying it was probably like 10 missions, and I mean that gives us like an idea of how long they've maybe been gone. But also like we don't really know, and if Omega has accelerated aging, at some point, if they're doing a time jump, she's gonna look a little bit older. So
yeah, that's a good point. In my head, I'm thinking like at most 6 months, but
yeah, I don't even know if it was that long. And it's kind of a weird thought though too, because in the very beginning, they go into their barracks and the record, checks off the missions. At least that's what I assumed. And he checked at like 3 or 4 missions. So if they did like 10 missions, and maybe it's different if they're doing like bounty hunter stuff, but I don't know, man. I'm really curious how long that time jump was.
Yeah, true. So I mean, what do we got? Obviously, it's someone we can't expect. We've run through every guest character in the trailer, right? We got Rex, we got Saw Gerrera, we got Fennec,
Yeah.
we got the bow and arrow. We got like
we got Tarkin, we got new characters that we haven't even heard of before, like Rampart. We've got a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I saw somebody put Vader takes out the Batch and Omega. That'd be amazing. That would be amazing.
So how are you feeling about the show?
I love it, man. Like I was be honest, I never even watched Clone Wars fully until like over the past year, pandemic. I was just never into animated like that.
For
But
sure.
I started watching Rebels first, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. What's going on
Yeah.
here? And then I kept hearing people refer to it, and I'm like, Oh, I gotta check this out. I was actually listening to like the Ringer podcast a lot. You listening to that? So like
Yeah.
they like laid it out for me. They're like, all right, you got to go back and you got to watch the crappy Clone Wars movie. It's like an hour long, just to get like the basis of everything. This is the same thing I tell my friends now when I'm trying to get them into it. And then you
Yeah.
go through the Clone Wars. And I went like I just finished it like I don't even know how many months ago, but like damn,
Pretty
like
recently.
animated Star Wars is what's keeping Star Wars alive right now. Like,
It really is.
well,
It really is.
I guess I can't
Well, that
overlook the Mandalorian.
that and Mando, but I agree.
Yeah. For like the longest time, but Mando like brought people's attention back to it probably, especially because everything's a continuation of it now. Like
Yeah.
I don't think I'm more excited for anything just because I loved Rebels so much than that Ahsoka show because like they might as well just title that like Rebels 2. Like that's what it is to me.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
That's really what I'm
Oh,
hoping.
there's no way. Like they everything they pointed to with Ahsoka in that show. She's like she's coming back. She's looking for Thrawn. It's like oh shit, she's going to find Sabine after this. Let's go. You
Yeah,
know?
man.
But bro, this is just like being in the Discord right now. Amazing.
Yeah, except you're on screen, right?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Right. Let's see. What we got going on the chat?
I'm about to check myself. Be Chris, I'm down here talking about Mace. That's what everybody says, though. It's always Mace.
Talking will meet Sidious Invader. Duh, Vito. We've seen that in the movies. What else? Yeah, man. I actually I was literally, I think till you started sharing those tweets today, because I wasn't messing with Twitter that much. I was thinking about, I'm like, is this really exciting for this next episode? Like, I just like dodged the biggest bullet that there could have been, because I thought they were just going to kill off Wrecker. I was like, you're really going to do a story like that? And, like, we're turning this into Game of Thrones now, animated.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was
Just
coming.
watch him slowly die.
Yeah, like, I thought he was just going to start taking people out that episode. But actually, I got a little bit hopeful once they actually finally, like, turned him into, or turned on his chip this last episode. I'm like, oh, good, he can't die yet now. You know, it's like way too early. But yeah, now I'm thinking like, chat's giving us nothing, man. All they got is Vader. Who is it gonna be?
I don't know. There's honestly not a lot of people. Maybe the other thought I had today, because they said a special person or like someone like that. I was thinking, because we just saw Rex like go into the smoke or whatever, and then instantly after, they're on the call with the Empire trying to snitch on him,
Yeah.
And then all we see though is Rex walking in the smoke. Like we don't know how far he gets, and we don't know how fast the Empire is going to get there. Like Rex could easily turn back around, and whoever the contact was that he was just talking to, he could hit him back up and be like, all right, forget that. We need backup. Come here instead. And then that person could come help them.
Yeah. Ashton, are you trying to position Mando versus Vader right now? Is that even a debate?
What did you say?
Said Mando versus Vader? Question mark. What is going on here, Cashew?
Ashton, you wildin', bro. You know that would not even be a fair fight.
Damn. I'm sorry, I kind of missed what you said too, because I just saw that and I'm like,
You're alright. I was just saying that the only other person I think it could be was the person that Rex was calling, but who knows who that was really either. They keep teasing us like that.
Well, in the smoke, I had it in my head he was just calling back to those sisters, but I could be.
It's possible. Yeah, I was my thoughts were the sisters, Gregor, Wolf, which I kind of doubt, and then of course Ahsoka.
Yeah. Oh, we got to get Ahsoka at some point too.
Yeah, I don't know how soon we'll get her, depending on the book and everything. Although again, who knows how long that time jump was.
Filoni don't care about the books. He's like, I didn't write that shit.
No, exactly.
Like you're in my world
like,
now.
these are my characters. I'm gonna do with them what I want.
Yeah, you're in my world now, Grandma. Could they be like underestimating us that much and be like, "Oh, Ahsoka's coming. Nobody sees that happening." Nah,
Yeah, kind of, for sure.
they definitely.
Especially like,
I did not expect Rex coming that last episode. I thought for sure that was just Bail Organa. I thought it was gonna be some
I'm
boring
so
shit.
happy it wasn't.
Loki, I am too, but I did not see him doing it. I'm like, this is so obviously Bail Organa. Like, what is everybody even talking about right now? I was like cocky with it in the chats. Like, dude, it's Bail Organa. Stop talking about it.
That's really funny. Before the watch party I did last week, I was telling everybody, well, it could be Rex, but I definitely it's Bale just based on how the the line and the shirt and everything. I was like, that's
Oh,
Bale.
they did that so much just to mess with us. Like,
Yeah, man. Filoni is just messing with us.
they had me legit going back and looking at old like scenes with Bail Organa, like in Close Wars. Like, was he wearing that?
They're like, why would Bale or Gunna be talking to them? You dummies.
Ashton,
They're just messing with us.
Ashton lost his mind in the chat here. Well, he was joking. He says he's trolling, saying all Den got to do is hit Vader with the electrocution and he's down for the count.
What?
Nah, he's trolling.
You talking about Sheiv or Din, man? What you talking about?
Oh, he's talking about Vader. He's trying to mess with Vito right now. So he had him going.
No, get out of here with that action.
Man. Oh, can we get back into this argument? I know everybody's pissed off about it, but Mando versus Boba.
Oh no! All right, let's do it.
Which camp are you in?
Now. What side are you on?
I'm with Boba, man.
I don't blame you.
Are you on the Mando side?
Only argument I can make is that Din just always wins, man. I've never seen the dude lose. Like, I can't think of a single. Maybe I have to rewatch the series, but like, I can't think of a single moment where this fool like lost. Like, even when he loses, he figures a way out of it, you know. And again, it's not really losing if you find a way out of it.
Oh, no doubt. He gets bailed out by Grogu without even knowing Grogu has any kind of power. I mean, legit, Din is serious with that Beskar staff, and then that.
Yeah. Now he's got a darksaber.
Exactly. He's got the toys, but Boba's tricky, man. And the dude got eaten by a Sarlacc, and he's still here.
Yeah, so, Din got eaten by a crate dragon.
Like, that's my rebuttal to like, oh, Din's got plot armor. Like, how much more plot armor do you need than getting fluke smacked into a Sarlacc pit, and then you somehow found your way back into a TV show like 40 years later? Like, what else do you need? He's here.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Nobody survives that.
Nah, that return scene though in Mando when he gets his armor back, that was pretty dope. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. I was shocked they came out and just showed him to us like that first episode. I was like, I almost didn't even believe it. I was like, oh, it's just some old guy that does it. Like, what?
Yeah, you gotta love Filoni and Favreau, man. They love it. They give it to us, man.
Yeah. What's going on here?
He's not that fast though.
Vito's in my camp, right? Vito backs Boba.
What about Vito?
I think Vito's on my side if I remember right, and Ashton is.
I don't know, man. Vito's a notorious Boba hater around these parts.
Yeah, he was all talking about Boba. Or wait, yeah, he was talking about how Boba was a warrior or something before. Or who was he talking?
Tim, we're talking about Boba versus Mando, my guy. When has Boba ever killed a crate dragon? Exactly, Ashton. Thank you.
You're gonna give Din credit for killing that dragon? Like he didn't have a whole town helping him kill that dragon?
You act like the town did anything. They were out here like the freaking Tusken Raiders are running out in the sand.
And let me tell you, he had a pretend Boba. He needed a pretend Boba to help him out too.
Pretend Boba. Oh my! The pretend Boba was the whole reason he had to destroy the Sarlacc.
I'm the most unpopular guy in the stream right now, right? Nobody's backing
up
over here.
Nah, Green Bear is lit.
It's all right. I'll fight the fights that need fighting. Abby, we
Oh,
don't have After
Abby's
Dark
on your
tonight.
side. Abby's on your side.
We don't have After Dark tonight, so I'll play the part of Al and lose debate 8. How about that?
I guess that makes me lavish.
Whatever.
Where are my shades? Where are my shades at?
That's what makes me like the most mad about that not being on the den anymore. Is I used to just always troll Al right after, like, bro, you never win one of these debates. That was the most fun part about it. It was like he was. I don't even think it was his fault too. I think he just got set up every single time.
Yeah, man. They always made us take the side that never wins, man.
Oh my god. That was.
Nah, I think Al just like to make it interesting too.
Well, the funny thing is, so like half the time I'm on his side, and then I'm like, wait a minute, you can't do this. You're gonna lose.
Yeah, you can't ever vote with Al, especially with that water, man.
Oh, we got 10:30 on the East Coast now. Giving these people a solid hour of content, but I'm not tired, so let's keep going.
I'm good too.
You got nowhere to go. I mean, you fucking
No,
nap.
I thought about a nap, but it's all good. I might make a video after this if I'm being honest.
Man, so what else going on in the chat? Anything on your minds that we're not thinking about? Oh, we got them fighting about Boba. Man, that was the whole plan.
Boba has more experience than Din. Yeah, more experience getting eaten.
And living from it.
Well, they both did that. But...
Didn't ever survive the Starlight. I can't talk about this anymore.
Nah, hey, the crate dragon ain't the Sarlacc. All right.
I was drinking a Bang and I ran upstairs, poured it into my Nerdvenger mug. Cause you know what?
Nice.
No free ads. That's
Man, I give them free ads every stream. I don't know how to take the transition off. Josh over here like, nah, you're gonna support the Avengers with your transition.
Oh, I support them. They get some free ads.
I'm playing. Don't take me serious.
All right, so what do we look at? We looked at Vader. That's everybody's hopeful choice. Probably.
Yeah, do you want to get into Loki much?
You want? You want to take a dive?
I'm down, man. Let's go down Loki lane.
Do you Loki?
Do I Loki like Loki?
I never heard of Loki in Vader's lair before. I didn't know he was there. I
mean, it wouldn't be the first time I've talked about it in Vader's.
All right. I gotta listen more. Blowing up my own spot.
Nah, you're good. I hopped on Normies to Nerds a couple times and we talked about some Marvel stuff and I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Justin is Lost. That fool came on one of my streams and he's like, talk about Loki, bro. Even though he's a Star Wars creator too. I was like, you bum.
I didn't even tag it, man. But whatever. We got.
Hey, just tag it after, man. It's good.
Normies for Nerds is what's up too. I like that show.
But Kendall's good. Kendall does some good stuff.
Yeah. So, all right, let's dive right back into Loki. Been talking about this guy.
My bad.
we got some news today though. So I was actually I was looking at that list of cities, and so got some weird dates. I can actually pull these up right now. Hold up. Where the hell is my mouse?
I'm definitely down to dive deep into this. I haven't heard a lot yet. I just watched it last night, so.
All right, so the list of these cities, I can't even see my damn. I took like screenshots, and then right after that, I jumped online and saw somebody else had the full list already. I'm like, nah. Okay, so my first screenshot I got, let's see, Lisbon, Portugal. And this is 3/31/1492. So they're about to just murder Columbus, I guess.
Oh, for sure. So this is a list of all the like apocalypse type stuff.
All the places where the reset bombs created a branch.
Whoa.
Yeah, I screenshotted all of them. I just sat there waiting for it because, I guess I have no life. But so we got that. We got Vormir, 4/23/2301.
So Vormir is in this.
Yeah, but in 2301. So way in the future.
Wow. All right.
Like forget Marvel 2099. And then we got Thornton, USA. So like no town. I mean no.
Isn't that where they went?
Is it? Well, this is
I know they went to one of. It might have been like Alabama or something.
maybe this is 1551 though. 10.
Oh no,
Yeah.
never mind.
And then we got Cookeville, USA, 1999.
Okay.
Then we got Asgard, 2/16/2004. So this is way before anything started.
Yeah.
For the MCU wise. And then we just got like a blank location for 10/3/1390. So no idea what that is. All right, then I got two more screenshots. All right, so next one.
That's interesting.
Yep. Next one is Rome, Italy, 10/3/1390. That's like some Roman Empire shit, right? I don't know.
Huh? Was that the Pompeii, or is that something else?
No idea. And then we got we got 8/13/1984 Sakaar. So like
that's interesting.
Like knockoff Planet Hulk, Sakaar.
Yeah. That's the planet they were at in Ragnarok.
Yeah. And then we got 2/2/1808 Barachara, I think Colombia. I have no idea. We got July 14th, 1708 Porvoo, Finland. Might have something to do with like the Tesseract. No, Finland, that's not where the Tesseract was. Never mind. And here's an interesting one. 12/27/1382 Ego.
Oh, that's interesting too.
Yep.
Wow.
We got another.
There's a lot of interesting stuff on that list.
Yeah, we got another just like blank location, and then 10/13/1982. So this is all flirting around like Guardians of the Galaxy time, and when a lot of these characters were like born in the MCU too. Then we got Titan, 10/13/1982. So fucking with Thanos.
Probably.
Yeah, and we got or it could have something to do with the Eternals.
That's possible. I think Thanos is maybe more likely, but Eternals definitely could be the case. That's really interesting.
Isn't Titan made up of like other Eternals in the comics too? I don't know.
I want to say it's something like that, and then Thanos is like half Eternal, half something else, and then yeah, he's all like a hybrid, and that's why. And like I don't even know because he's purple for a reason.
Yeah. All right, and then we got this one is like really throwing me off. So it's September 21st, 1947, right? So 2 years after World War II, New York City. So it's like, who are they going after there? Peggy Carter? Maybe Howard Stark? I don't know.
Possibly.
Yeah. Then we got March 1st, 1984, Tokyo, Japan.
Do you think maybe Wolverine or something?
No idea. And we got, here's one, January 3rd, the year 51, Hala.
51?
Yeah, and it's Hala. So that's the Cree city of Hala. So like 2,000 years ago almost. And then we got August 2nd, 99, Kingsport, USA. And then another blank one is September 24th.
It's a big list.
Yeah. I think this is the last, yeah, that was the last one. But anyway, that's what we're looking at there. Do we just lose the whole chat? Just like, like what the hell are you doing?
I don't know. I just came back. There's a little bit.
All right. I just had to refresh. But yeah, man, that's.
They're still talking about Vader and Boba.
Are they? Like, fuck these guys.
Nah, bro, you're doing good. Don't worry about it. That was some really interesting information, actually.
Yeah, right. So we got that. But I don't know. What else was going on with Loki that was messing with my head? So
What do you think the ending was? That's the biggest thing I've been on my head.
What do you mean, as far as like him following her?
Sort of. I'm more curious what the all the time branches mean, because I don't think there's going to be any way for them to stop that.
I don't know. I mean, we see on screen that they're branching off, but they still have like a red line point, right? So they could stop those, some of them.
Well, yeah, it's so crazy. Like, what is there, like 10 of them at least? Like,
Yeah.
look like a whole ton, and some of them were already out in the field. Plus, Loki left, and maybe like him leaving in the apocalypse whole thing won't really matter. But the fact that there's already so many other branches, they have a bunch of agents in the field. Like, who knows how big the TVA is really? But it just seems like it's such a hard. Like, I'm really curious if they're going to be able to stop it.
Yeah, we definitely opened up Pandora's box because that's all these dudes are talking about. All right, but no. So my thoughts on that, I think that door is going right to the TVA.
The witch?
I mean, maybe I'm probably wrong, but I think that door she went through could lead right to the TVA. Like she just all
I
those
wouldn't be shocked.
yeah, everything she's doing with that is just to distract them. And you see everybody filter out of that building, right? Whatever, how big it
Yeah.
is. And then even the judge like grabs an artifact and starts taking off to go whoop some ass. And that leaves and that coupled with the fact that that kidnapped Minute Woman just starts like telling him, she's like, I told him where to find the timekeepers. So it could also be she's going to TVA, but not like what we've seen already. Like she's
Mm-hmm.
going to the source. She's going right to the timekeepers. Loki's following her, and she's thinking like, all right, maybe this will help me, maybe this won't, or maybe, ooh, okay, new theory. So she's not going straight to the timekeepers, right, or wherever they hail. She's taking Loki with her to kind of like, because they're operating like outside of time anyway. So she's
Yeah.
taking Loki to basically coax him onto her side, which shouldn't take a lot because he already wants to meet the timekeepers anyway. She might be just be feeling them out a little bit more. And then probably like the next episode, we're seeing them go to like an unguarded timekeepers place. Like we don't even know what these guys really are. Because I'm still
Yeah.
not sold on the TVA being like they're
Lizard
either
people.
yeah, they're either like straight up evil or they're just like like a failure. Like maybe they
Yeah.
are really the joke they were in the comics, you know? But they're
It's
just
possible.
really well shielded. But I don't know. That's
They
all.
don't seem like a joke, man. The way that first
Yeah.
episode like portrayed them, it's like, damn, all right, for sure, they
Right.
control
Dude,
everything. And then
dude forgets his
the second
ticket.
episode, Loki's like, oh, like you guys are so easily manipulated, and you could tell like he's just desperate. But the other Loki, the kid or female Loki, or maybe kid and female, I don't even know. The other Loki, she was all like, actually just messing with them and toying with them. So it was like pretty interesting. Also, I think actually on that point, I saw some stuff that it potentially could be a character named Sylvie. Have you seen anything on that?
Yeah, actually. I was talking to my partner in crime, usually sits in your spot. This dude's got like over 9,500 comic books in his collection. So like he's my encyclopedia.
Damn.
Like I'm like a swarmy when it comes to like Marvel and Star Wars. Like I've watched all the shit. I've like cliff noted it wherever. So enough to know what I'm talking about. But as far as
Yeah,
owning the material, like that's like a DVD to me. I don't have that stuff, like, you know.
yeah, for sure.
But
As far as me, the MCU, I'm a little bit of a sweat in, but the actual like comic stuff,
yeah,
I'm barely becoming like just past the normie, like into a swarmy. So like I barely know anything in the comics.
yeah.
I know stories, but
Like I know like the stories with Star Wars for the most part, like how they go, but I just never have time to read books like that. It's not even like anything
yeah,
against Star Wars, you know. I wish I did, but it is what it is. But
yeah, I'm getting into the books now, so don't feel like
yeah.
you don't know that much. I barely know much in the books.
Well, from what I do hear, like that's just another reason for me to be excited as hell about Ahsoka, where they're going with like Thrawn and stuff. But
Yeah,
but yeah, so this whole TVA thing, man, like it's been killing me for a while. Cause I got this dude on my side because I was telling him my whole like TVA is like evil. I almost made a video on it, like cutting it, but I'm like thinking to myself, I'm going way off the rails with this. So I didn't do it yet. But he actually like when we talked last night, he's like, you actually won me over. Like I'm thinking these guys are not like good guys at all. And he's like, I got sold on it by the montage in the beginning where like Enchantress or whoever she is whooping some ass to like we need a hero.
Yeah.
He's like, she's gotta be she's not the villain.
No,
But
I don't think so either.
no, I saw like that part in the end credits that that shows a real name, but it's it's almost like they're doing a mixture too. So they got her name listed as Sylvie Laufeyson, right? If you look at it.
Yeah, I think actually. So the thing I saw, other than the end credit thing, I saw a like in those files, kind of like with the stuff you saw.
Right.
There was a they had her name on there, and it was Sophie or my bad, Sylvie Laffy daughter or something like that.
Oh, was that? I didn't catch that part.
Yes, or Laffy Dottie or something like that, and then it like translated to Laffy daughter or something.
I might have glossed
And
it when I just saw Laufey. Like,
yeah, so I mean, I think also in the comics, there's obviously you were talking about Sylvie being the enchantress or something.
right.
Obviously, I'm barely normie swarmy whatever, but I think it's somewhat of a mismatch. It sounded like between like the actual enchantress and then like this other character Sylvie that's like created by Loki or something. It's really interesting though.
Yeah, no doubt. I was reading up on that actually a little bit over the past couple of days too. Um, no, I mean people keep. We were even talking about in the member chat before. A lot of people are saying like it's got to be a combination, or they're like, nah, that can't be her because of what happened in the comics. It's like none of this happened in the comics. Loki didn't get like taken by
Yeah,
the
yeah,
TVA. Like
for
we're
real.
in totally uncharted water. MCU uses the comics to like the best they can, and then like, all right, let's go off script. So
Yeah,
it could be whatever. She could be a complete mixture. I'm kind of starting to jump in that camp the more I think about it, but
yeah,
and that's actually cooler too, because the whole like storyline where like all these souls from Asgard like jumping in different bodies, it's like, whoa, where are we going with this? But like, I don't know, the power she got, that doesn't seem like a Loki.
yeah, yeah. She seems a bit stronger, and
Yeah,
it's on the note that you were talking about with the all the or like the dead bodies and whatnot, and like just the file that he went through with the Ragnarok and finding out the end of his people. I think it's really been like almost crazy to see Loki realize like kind of how his life unfolds in these past two episodes, and like what really goes down with Asgard and the people, and like that he always wanted to rule Asgard, and he felt like he would have been a rightful king, and then he sees what happens to it when he ends up dying, and
yeah.
there's nothing he can really do about Ragnarok anyway. So it's like,
Let me
it's pretty wild.
let me clear something up. So Tim in the chat says, I don't really get when they were in Pompeii, they said what they're doing can change everything, but in Endgame they said that's not the case. So break this down for you because I've been hearing a lot of people get this confused.
Yeah,
So in Endgame, they basically said it's not like Back to the Future. Like you're not going to go back in time and then mess up your current timeline with events and things that you do, right?
yeah,
You say no, that's not what Tim's are. But anyway, throw that out the window because what they're talking about is saying normally if you go to any other, you go back in the timeline and you do something any bit differently at all, you're going to create a branch, which is kind of like Back to the Future actually, because like
I mean, it literally happened.
yeah,
So
right, but it really won't matter that much anyway because the TVA will come in and normally knock it out, right? The reason
yeah,
why it doesn't matter in Pompeii is because yeah, it's not a world level apocalypse, but anyone that they can do something to impact the life of is gonna die, no matter what.
yes,
So like
yeah.
everybody, yeah,
The timeline for Pompeii ends with Pompeii blowing up and all the people in Pompeii, dying. So
Tommy Banana,
it wouldn't change it.
I'm sure they're acting off the premise that there were no witnesses to Pompeii because the world totally forgot about it until some archaeologist found out about it like 100 years ago. That's what
Yes,
they're working off of. It's basically the whole Pompeii thing is you go back to an apocalyptic event, which is someplace that is basically going to be unknown to the rest of the world or known, wiped off the face of the earth, every living person in that scene. So like
Yeah,
even
because
when
they're
you,
all like, even if you tell, like he did, he told all of them, "Hey, you're all gonna die.
yeah,
This volcano's about to blow up." Well, from the future, he told them all of that, and it
yeah,
didn't affect the timeline at all because all of those people still died.
yeah,
There's nothing further for them to change in the timeline because they're all dead.
yeah, Tim, they're going to a scene like in a timeline that is basically the point of no return for a catastrophe. So like
Yeah.
Pompeii, they're going to Pompeii at the point where no one can evacuate and safely.
Yes.
And the same thing with that Roxxon place.
Yeah, because there's no like future for them. They're all gonna die. Like
Yeah,
the whole thing with the timeline changing is if they told one of those people and they ran away and got out of there in time, that would have changed the timeline. But
exactly.
because there's no chance for them to run away and get out of that, they're all gonna die. It doesn't change anything.
Yeah. But why did he say they would change the future? Who said they would change the future then?
He thought that it potentially could still, and Mobius, and he
Oh,
was worried about it. But Loki was trying. That was the whole point that Loki was trying to make was it's not going to affect anything. All these people are about to die,
yeah.
and then that's exactly what happens. There was no time branch.
Mobius' concern was basically like, all right, is a squirrel gonna get out of here and then like do something because he heard you? He was just more worried about the like mass butterfly effect. But Loki basically
Yeah,
proved like it's not there. Like all you're
I'm
gonna see
curious
every
if the previous the what's her name, Sorcerer Supreme. I'm curious if the previous Sorcerer Supreme knew about the TVA because when she talked about the timeline branches, it looked almost the exact same as the TVA's does.
that's true. But at the same time, the TVA's taken how many Infinity Stones from how many places, or maybe it's just places that they crushed.
Yeah, but she can look into different dimensions.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm curious if
All the ones they have in that drawer are timelines they erased, including
yeah,
Loki's. So
yeah.
that's why they're paperweights, or are they? That's what confuses me.
If they were brought into reality, I think they wouldn't be.
True, true.
But because they're in the TVA and there's no like magic or powers in there, they're just like rocks.
Yeah, okay, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro, it's wild. It's a crazy show.
But why do we need
Would
all
have
the
dug on them
apocalypse
in
stuff?
the jet.
Because in Endgame they said it wouldn't matter. Now they said, well, Tim, you're connecting like something totally different. They're talking about an Endgame.
He's talking about Endgame.
Yeah,
None of them would die.
yeah,
The people would still be alive. So when Tony talks to his dad, that could even potentially change the timeline. Like
yeah,
there's a thing in the comics where Tony wasn't even actually his dad's son, and he was an adopted kid, and he actually had a brother, and Tony's brother basically was born with like a disability to where he was bedridden his entire life, even though he was super genius as well. And Tony ended up just being really smart, and it had nothing to do with his parents being who they were. And so I don't even know where I'm going with this point anymore. It's just like there's things in the timeline that just like don't change. Like, and there's like if you went back and he told his dad, "Hey, Dad, you should like talk about his kids and how he was about to be like," if he told his father who he was, that could have changed everything because then his dad would have gone on, and because of who Tony's dad is, he would have tried to figure out a way to do time travel and like do all this stuff in the past when really he should have been building his company and doing all this stuff.
right. Proxy, I don't know
So
if that Infinity thing. See, Proxy says those Infinity Stones wouldn't work anywhere. They only work in their universe, and the TVA destroyed those branch timelines, rendering these stones useless.
how does he know that though?
Yeah, because if that's the case, then how did what the Avengers just pull off work?
Yeah, they pulled it in from other time, basically the past.
Yeah.
So
was just technically a different timeline now because
Which,
they just
yeah, and how is that not a different timeline
yeah
too? Like, it's so like confusing.
yeah. Well, one of two things would have happened, right? Like the places they went branched off into something else, and the TVA squashed
And
it right
they
away.
deleted it.
Yeah, or like they said, they're like, well, this was supposed to happen.
Well,
'Cause
that's weird though,
yeah,
because then it's still like, okay, so my whole thing with the branch timelines and with what happens in Endgame, there was what 3, 4 times that they went back into, and the most important one for all of this is 2014. In 2014, that's the timeline that Thanos comes out of
yeah,
with his entire freaking army. So there's no more Thanos in that timeline of 2014 because he left that timeline. Gamora dies in that timeline, and the other Gamora came out along with the other, with their sister. I can't think of her name right now. And then
oh
also
shit,
they take the Power Stone, and maybe the stones get returned in time, but they took the Power Stone before Peter Quill got there. There's so many different things that happen that could have potentially branched another timeline. Captain
and
America going back
yeah,
in time.
just gonna say, and then Cap went back to all of them right after that.
Yeah, and then I've always had this theory because I think Paul on Heavy Spoilers came up with this maybe. But someone talked about back when Endgame, 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 back when Endgame.
Whoa. My bad. Here we are. I shut the sound off because I didn't want to hear Sheiv anymore. That was
You're good, you're good. That was wild, bro. My
yeah.
computer just freaked out.
We good now, everybody?
I'm good.
Yeah, just want to make sure they're getting us in.
For sure. Not that. That was freaking wild.
Yeah, when I heard back in Endgame 45 times in a row, I just muted both of them. So I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was like, let's get that out. People
Chat's going wild. Bro, my computer screen, like, boom, it was purple. I was like, what the?
I don't know, man. I mean, we've been going at it like, oh, it's only about an hour, huh? Yeah, whatever. I think for the most part, it's been good. If I could figure out how to just get your audio to work.
Yeah, you'll figure it out, though, I'm sure. I don't even know how to bring people on stream yet, so.
Yeah, you know what's gonna happen is as soon as we finish this, I'm gonna Google something and find it in like 2 minutes and be like, stupid.
Yeah, man.
That's what always happens. All right, so you were saying back in Endgame?
Is that the last thing you heard? All right.
Yep. Multiple times.
So the 2014 timeline, that's also the timeline that Thor goes back to. And in that timeline, when Thor and Rocket get the other stone, Thor also takes his hammer. He takes Mjolnir back from that timeline.
Yeah.
And what the heck happens to the Thor that has the Mjolnir in that timeline? Like, even if they returned it to him, like, right away, he was probably mid-battle and just all of a sudden lost his hammer in the middle of battle. I
Yeah.
doubt he freaking survived that.
I don't know. I don't know, man. The whole Tim opened up a can of worms this time.
What did Tim say?
Oh no, he was the one that I was responding to. We were talking about something else. But the thing that bugs me out still is so they're saying Captain America, like the only way it makes sense is if he's actually, when he went back to bring everything back, he was in that main timeline. And I think the TVA is pretty much explained he had to be now because there's only one timeline unless they, like, some enchantress Loki blows everything up, right?
Still doesn't make sense to me, but I get you.
Yeah, it loosely makes sense. So like basically he was in all these events, but at the same time, like, couple questions: how the fuck did he return the Soul Stone? Because that don't make any sense,
Yeah.
right? And then also, his shield was like destroyed by Thanos in that battle. So where the fuck that shield come from?
Whatever timeline he lived out his life in, man.
But TVA's telling us that there's only one sacred timeline.
Exactly. So did he just grow up in the shadows with Peggy, or live out the rest of his life in the shadows with Peggy? Like, that's kind of messed up.
I have no, like, I don't know where that shield that he gave to Sam came from. No idea.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm like really curious. Like, what if the whole branching at the end of it is just the multiverse breaking, and this happened before?
Yeah.
Like before Endgame. Because technically it's outside of time, so it could already be broken.
Yeah.
And then that's how Captain America goes back in Endgame, and then, just that's why he can create a branch timeline where he goes back with Peggy, and why all these other branch timelines don't matter, even though they're like all worried about it,
Yeah. I've literally like spammed this in chat a few times, like trying to get Josh to talk on it, and he's probably looking at it like, "Oh fuck that, I'm not talking about that."
I'm curious too if what the Avengers did was supposed to happen, then wouldn't every single time the Tesseract fall to Loki and he goes through, wouldn't that happen like every timeline? Because that's what's supposed to happen. Like, obviously they say it's a variant, but like.
Yeah.
The outside Avengers did nothing to change that. It was literally like Tony Stark had the case, and then Hulk from that timeline came down the stairwell and bumped it out of his case and like out of his hand and stuff. So like, isn't that supposed to happen every time? Wouldn't it technically be Hulk's fault?
Right. I really like. I'd be interested in at least like a Marvel short of just Cap bringing back all the stones, because like,
yeah,
Marvel's been like,
or like a what if.
Yeah, Marvel's been good as hell over the past like decade about like not having any continuity errors, and there's like two glaring ones just from Endgame.
Just chilling there.
The lawless quantum realm. I think there's a good possibility we're already watching the quantum realm with TVA. Like, a lot of people think that's where they're at. That orange.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
That little city.
Yeah, because I don't know what the hell that is. I don't. Oh man, this is what they do to us at the MCU, man. This is why Marvel TV did not survive. MCU TV working. Like,
yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah, there's so much.
All that continuity is, we just eat it up.
Yeah, we've been sitting here talking about it out. Well, we talked about some bad shit. I'm still in the back of my head thinking like, all right, who the hell are they gonna bring out?
What's your hype level for the episode tonight after all the Twitter stuff I talked about?
Like, before the Twitter stuff, it was like a 5. Like, I was just happy with what I got last week. And then after you started saying, I'm like, son of a bitch. It gave me a reason to watch it.
That's my job. That's my job.
Right?
Get the hype going. Get the hype going, man. I think it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
I hope it is.
I just got to know now. Nobody in chat could tell me anything. I thought this was a bunch of experts. All they got is Vader, and then just a flawed argument on how Boba would lose a fight. That's all we got. And we still got some cashews here.
What's that?
We still got a couple cashews in that chat, though.
Oh,
Yeah, three.
Cashews are always around.
I prefer pistachio to be honest with you, but it is what it is. Boss K, or I'm saying that wrong. Boss. Wow. Hang out with me longer, guys. I'll start saying dumber stuff.
For sure, man. I don't know though. I think I hope we're in for a surprise tonight with the Bad Batch. Like, if it's true that like we're not gonna be able to predict it, like maybe it's not even Cal and something else, but I hope it's enjoyable regardless, man. Like,
Right.
I hope it's a good one.
I don't know. You got anything?
Stop me, right?
Ash hammer, cashews equal better than pistachios. Bro, you want to start this again?
Oh, are we doing cashew versus pistachio debate? Is that what's going on?
Pistachios definitely could kill a crate dragon. They don't need the townspeople to help them. I'm just saying. But they got a harder shell too. What am I doing? All right.
You're welcome, bro. You're welcome, Ashton.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for watching, Ashton. I should probably say.
Hey, Proxy says Bosk. What do you think of that?
Boba.
Well, it's Boba.
Yeah, he'll no doubt be in the Boba Fett show.
Well, Proxy was just saying, what if Bosk is the character? But that just made me think of Boba right now. Because I mean, I've been on the Boba train for a little bit that he could potentially show up in Bad Batch. So
he's like,
I hope he does.
He's in a Sarlacc. No, what am I talking about?
Not in this time.
Yeah.
He's like 15, maybe. Maybe not even.
Yeah, they never showed him actually like age in Clone Wars, right?
He doesn't age. Or not that he doesn't age, but he doesn't have accelerated aging.
No, I know that, but the Clone Wars is obviously like over a period of years, so.
Yeah. So in the deleted episode, or like the unfinished episode that followed Boba at the end of the Clone Wars, he does look a little bit older, and he has like a shaved head and everything.
Just got a notification about watch out for Sheiv for the watch party. I'm like, whoa, pretty early. Josh wants you to go like 6 hours, man. Not 6 hours.
I think he might be going to bed tonight.
Yeah, so
Boba get crazy up in this watch party if Josh is going to bed.
So Boba will basically still be a kid. Or maybe he's a
little older. I mean, he's definitely a very capable kid at this time. He'd probably be, like I said, around like 15, maybe 14. But he can hold his own at this time period.
Yeah.
I think we see him with Bosk at the end of Clone Wars, and he's wearing, and like, can never think of the bounty hunter girl that's like super white that has that like antenna sticking out her head. I can never friggin' remember her name, but he was with her too.
Yeah.
And that's kind of just the gang he's rolling with at this time period, I think.
Daniel Fisher says, "Return of the Macadamia Nut."
Macadamia. Not the almond.
Yeah, Tim, what is Embo? I was just looking at that. Like
Embo?
Yeah.
Embo's dope. I think he might be dead, but he's a bounty hunter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's got this like crazy hat, and like I think he has like a mask thing on his face like this. Kind of looks like Bane.
Who's they're not bringing back that guy. Cad Bane. You talked about him earlier, huh?
Yeah, I've talked about him a couple times. I actually talked about him with Star Wars Cinema today. I think it might have been yesterday that I was talking about him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Streams start to blend together, but I think if Boba shows up, he definitely might be in it.
Yeah. We got 5 years. I think Tim just got pissed at us about the Embo thing and took off. No.
What did Tim say?
Tim, you still here?
Horsing. Hey, a bunch of people are saying horsing. Thank you, guys. That's the white bounty hunter girl with the antenna.
Okay.
She's kind of a baddie. She's pretty dope. Proxy says Aura Singh and Bosk are the ones training or watching over Boba. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. And I think Is Dengar in this time? I don't remember. He might be. Dengar is probably close around.
Greedo's still around.
Greedo is probably. I mean, I think Greedo is Anakin's friend in the Phantom Menace, but Greedo would probably be definitely at the right age to be starting to become a bounty hunter and stuff.
Yeah, Han didn't shoot first yet, so.
Nope, not yet. Not yet.
They teased him with that, what was it, Corellia? Am I getting it right?
Yeah. Corellia is the planet that Han kind of grew up on, right?
And they teased but Han's gotta be too young now, so.
Oh yeah, he's barely alive, right?
Yeah. Or he's like not
He's
even
a little bit older than Luke and Leia, and they were just born, so.
I mean he's like adolescent age. I don't know.
Yeah, he's probably pretty young.
What is? We need to figure this out now.
If what they said is, I mean, he may have just said that to throw us off. But maybe he's just saying that because, like, we think that they're gonna get the chip out of Crosshair or something, and like,
Yeah.
they probably won't.
Yeah, Ashton, these between all these Star Wars shows and all these Marvel shows, like, damn, this is crazy.
A lot of good stuff lately.
Yeah, like they got Disney Plus like a gold mine right now, and we're like tip of the iceberg right now too. There's so much stuff.
When the pandemic hit, I was like, I wish I had more money to buy Disney stock because it went to like $89 at one point, and I was just sitting there like, that's just Disney Plus about to blow up. Oh my god, I wish I had money.
Yeah. Only 14 episodes? Where are you seeing that, Ashton? We got 16.
No. So there were leaks for episodes 10 through 14, but the guy that leaked it basically said these are the episodes for July and that they gave this to us. And he didn't know why, but those were strictly the episodes for July. It's almost, I'm pretty certain that there's going to be 16 episodes. I think the Kiner brothers kind of released the last episodes, like music and the title and everything. And I think it said episode 16. But I do know last week, the guy I was talking about earlier, Kellogg or something, I think he said that this episode is going to kick off a like hot second half of the season. But I still think this is the halfway point of the season. So
yeah,
it's curious.
You all inquisitored out by now too after last night?
Me? Hell no!
I don't know how
I'm still hyped.
I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest with you.
Well, so there was like a conflicting report today, and Josh kind of touched on it at one point.
Yeah.
And basically, the another source place that had a bigger following, like the one that comments on it had like 17,000 followers, and the one that originally said it had like 7,000 followers.
Right.
So like, the other one was trying to say, no, that's bogus. Like, don't believe in that. And then they literally, in their article at the end, were like, all right, we didn't mean to go that hard at them. If they're right, we're going to acknowledge it. Like, who knows kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, dude, just because your source might not have the information doesn't mean it's not real.
What do you think of I'm like confused with like what Star Wars is doing movie wise now, because I feel like they just keep switching who they're gonna have direct what, and like, so the Rogue Squadron, that's a movie, right?
Rogue Squadron is a movie. I think there's a game that's titled like Rogue Squadron or something too, but yeah, there is a movie that's coming out. I think 2023. I gotta look back into when it's coming out. It might be next year even.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to take place like post episode 9, I think, was the rumor. So
I don't even
know how I'm feeling about that.
Yeah, I'm not that excited about that. Like, what else? We know that Taika Waititi's getting a movie at least, right?
What was that?
He's getting one movie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's supposed to have a movie, and it's supposed to be kind of like super like in the past, like before High Republic type of stuff. So like way in the past, and
Ooh,
I don't know. We don't know a lot about it, and there's like a Though Yor and kind of like release thing, and that's kind of why everyone thinks it's from like super back in the past. But if you remember in the Mando finale for season two, when Luke arrives on the ship, there's like a weird Though Yor looking thing in the background there too. So
yeah. So what about? It's like if you're gonna tell us about a director you hired, give us some kind of concept. Like you know what I mean? Like like a brief. I don't know. It just seems weird. And then I
yeah.
don't trust them to not just like do the same shit they did with the sequels. Be like, all right, we're gonna do this director for this one, and then we're not gonna have a plan. We're gonna do this director for the second one, and we're still not gonna have a plan. But we're gonna bring the first director back and just like try to make it not shit, but it's still gonna be shit.
Well, I think it was more like Terrio was like not down with what Ryan, the way that Ryan took the direction of it, and then didn't fit into the story he was going to write.
Yeah,
So I think that was part of it, and I think it was kind of more of a mutual thing that Terrio just was like no, and then of course JJ just kind of bent over and listened to them, and he
yeah,
didn't even get the story he wanted to write. It sounds like, and even recently with the news where he was like, yeah, we didn't really have a plan. Like it just goes to show like he probably didn't even want to do that episode 9, but he probably like had to for money, or just was
yeah.
like, all right, well they're giving me such a big paycheck, I might as well do it, kind of thing.
It's just wild too, though, because you figure like Disney oversaw like the genius that is Marvel, right? And then like nobody there above Lucasfilm even like had any input and be like, wait, hold up, like we don't have an outline for all three. We just have one for one,
Yeah,
and you're going
and it's
multiple
tough
directors.
too because Marvel was with I think Paramount when they started this whole journey.
Yeah,
And then Disney, when Disney took over, I think that's around the time that Kevin Feige was promoted to where he was, and now he has full control of everything in Marvel. So
and
he's been making most of the creative decisions, and Disney's was allowed them to take a step back because they already believed in this IP.
yeah,
Whereas Star Wars only had Clone Wars going on for them, and there was nothing really like coming out at the time. They had to start from scratch movie wise, and they just botched it completely. And Disney dipped in and wanted to do all this stuff, and it's possible the directors and writers wanted to do something else.
yeah. I mean, thank God Filoni got a little promotion now,
Yeah,
but like, in what world do you plan a trilogy and you actually plan to have a different director for the second? Like, what? Like, maybe
yeah.
one movie where they've done that. Like,
They should have done all three with one dude, but
yeah,
they of course started with JJ, and JJ didn't even want to do all three because he felt so much pressure doing the first one.
yeah. I don't know. Wild, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, this
And
not good planning.
we got Feige is actually doing a movie. We still don't know anything. Is anything actually confirmed on that?
I don't know about confirmed, but there is heavy rumors, and that's kind of why I haven't really touched on it on my channel. I've been
Oh, that's why
wanting
your
to.
eyes just open wide. My bad.
I freaking love Feige. I love Feige almost as much as I love Filoni, man. And for real, like when Star Wars wasn't as big throughout like my high school and like middle school years and everything, like Marvel was out here killing the game. So
Yeah,
it's funny, like I almost see Marvel as like the Star Wars of my era in a way, just because I'm like 20, I'm 22, so growing up, like obviously I love Star Wars. I was around for the early stages of my life. The prequels were coming out, and then now, like obviously, like 2016 and everything, they had all the sequels, and now they're all out and everything
yeah,
now. But like Marvel has been killing it since 2008, also.
yeah, man. Shit's wild. I remember just sitting, like, I remember sitting in the theater for Iron Man, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh my God, what the hell? Like, I don't even think we meant to wait for the credits, and then we just caught
No, it was just like, damn, this is so good.
yeah,
Just taking it in, and then there's Nick Fury.
yeah, that started something crazy. But
Yeah, dude. Even Hulk with Tony Stark showing up at the end of that.
Yeah. Like I grew up like back in my day, like I didn't buy comics all that much. Like I have comics, but I don't have like a huge
Yeah.
collection. But I didn't have to because I would just go to the comic book store and just read shit there. I would just go
Fair
hang out.
enough.
You know what I mean? I would jump on my bike, ride down the street to the comic book store, chill there all day. I usually just buy like the t-shirts and shit instead of that, or all like the
Yeah.
other stuff. And then like you remember, you're probably not old enough to remember like Wizard magazine.
Wizard magazine, nah, that's before my time probably.
This is like yeah, this is like pre-internet really, or maybe like just at the inception of it. So like if you wanted to look something up like Marvel, you're waiting for like the next issue of like magazines that are like talking about it. So they have one called like Wizard magazine. And the wild thing they used to do is they'd have a section that would be like casting calls, and they would like predict like who they thought like best fits would be for like X-Men, The Simpsons, all that. And I always
Yeah.
think about that because like their top choice for like Professor X for X-Men was Patrick Stewart. They nailed it. Like
Damn.
if I'm remembering it right, I'm pretty sure they got that right at least. But it was just like that's how I grew up in comic books. I would be like rifling through those magazines. Me and my friends just drawing down our own like little make believe comic book characters. Yeah. Before we had Photoshop to do it. Like,
Yeah, that's dope.
well, I don't know, man.
For
How,
sure.
how you feeling? You surviving still? We hanging with the people?
Surviving.
Uh,
I might head out of here pretty soon, but we'll see, man. I'm enjoying it. It's been nice talking to you for sure.
yeah, it's been dope. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm glad you're about to do this because I was like, I really don't want to do a solo stream.
I feel you, man.
I don't know how you
Sometimes
do it.
solos can be nerve wracking, dude.
Yeah. All right, what else we got? What else haven't we touched
I don't know. Where do you think Loki's going towards the end of the season? How do you think it's gonna play out?
on? Oh, like my number one for sure, and it might even happen or start to happen the next couple of episodes. Is like TVA is going to be no more. Like they're Shield at the end of Winter Soldier. That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking because there's no other way we end up getting the stuff that we're getting. You know,
Yeah, dude.
like Spider-Man and Doctor Strange.
Yeah, literally, we got multiverse of madness coming up. You know,
Yeah,
it really makes me think that with all this stuff that happened this last episode and at the end, I'm really on this train that with the whole branch timelines, like stuff's about to pop off. Episode 3, multiverse is about to like be a real thing where they're not going to be able to stop these timelines from expanding past the red line.
yeah,
And it's just all chaos is going to break loose. We might see the timekeepers and them trying to like keep things in check. Who knows if it's Kang? Because I know that's been a kind of a theory out there. I'm just really curious to see where the whole branch timelines are going to be taken. If they're going to be able to stop it.
yeah.
Personally, I don't think they stand a chance against that.
If they're bringing in Kang in like any sense of the word in the series, even if he's like just a 20-second like end credit at the end of the series, I'll be shocked because like they do that. It's like all right, these MCU shows are like the next level now because like it just feels like they don't want to go that far with these shows. Like,
Yeah,
but
I get you.
all we got to
I'm
work
starting
with is first two. So
Yeah, I was starting to think Loki would be the one that actually got crazy. So maybe I shouldn't get my hopes too high up in case we get bonered again. But
are we like? Is that for real? We're gonna see Throg?
Rock?
Yeah.
Isn't that the dude that Psycho plays in like
No,
Rock
no.
now?
Am I saying it wrong? Look at Thor is a frog, like that guy.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, we getting crazy out here, so.
Yeah. I mean, they could bring out. I was just looking at Lisa Scott responded to one of my comments. Like, how many times will we reference Den of Nerds on this book? Anyway.
What was that?
I said, how many times will we reference Den of Nerds on this show?
Oh, 100. Don't worry, I do it too.
Nah, I commented on her thread because I saw that Carm out about the tape, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But, no,
For sure.
Yeah, but if we start seeing some wild shit like that, like if they bring the frog in and voice it with Chris Hemsworth, that'd be
That
great.
would be hilarious. I'd be all for it.
I can't see how we get to that point from where we're at right now, though. So we got 4 more episodes.
Yeah, unless he just shows up in the TVA.
Yeah, it seems like we're not even halfway done until like next week, but still 4 episodes is not a lot of time.
You feel like it's not a lot of time, but like at the same time, they're making these hour-long episodes feel like a lot. To be honest,
Yeah, I'm
they're doing a good job of using their time.
yeah, I'm pumped as hell for What If too. I was on that train like early,
Me
like
too.
yeah, like they were just starting talking about, oh, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, dude. Everyone's like animated. You know how it is with animated shows and the
Yeah,
stigma around it. But man, to me, I freaking love animated stuff. Like I feel like it's always so slept on. Like the amount of people I've tried to get to watch Clone Wars and Rebels alone, like it's crazy. I've had like one person my entire life that I actually got to watch. Like obviously my brother and I kind of like grew up watching Clone Wars a little bit, but he fell off the older he got.
yeah.
And then the only person I've actually gotten to watch Rebels is my cousin, and that's it.
The best part is I got 2 kids too, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I can't obviously I can't like put on Mandalorian when they're like in the room, but if I want to like this past week, I was like when that '90s era Spider-Man cartoon came out, like they would never there's no way to stream it. So whenever you caught it, that with X-Men, it was never in order. So you'd always just catch episodes like randomly, and you'd be like, "When the hell did this happen?"
Yeah, they do replays and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, ooh, I got something after this, but it was like I would catch the episode, or I mean, I'll pop that on now, and then my kids are like, "Ooh, Spider-Man." And I'm like, "Yeah,"
That's dope.
and they actually like their take on Secret Wars is awesome too. So
Really?
yeah,
I gotta look into that.
but as we just said that, I was like catching like a you were saying catch like a replay. I was just thinking back to like Back to the Future, where he's like, "What the hell's a rerun?" It's like, bro, you didn't even say what a like. We just like went from a period before reruns to after reruns in like 10 years time.
Yeah,
Like
that's wild.
nobody knows what that is now. Like we just like
That's
totally.
wild to think about too.
But
Like if you missed something back in the day, you were screwed.
yeah, man. Like I used to catch Spider-Man on after school. That was like
Yeah.
it was like you were either watching TRL or you're putting you're a nerd and you're popping on Spider-Man on Fox. I feel bad for these kids now too. They don't got like any good Saturday morning cartoons.
Nah, bro. I think I talked about it on that crazy like 3-part stream where my stream lives got shut me down.
Yeah,
But I used to work with kids, and it's so surprising. Like a lot of them are into Marvel because Marvel movies are pretty big. But like
yeah,
when I tell you these kids are not into Star Wars like that, like it's weird. Like none of these kids were that into Star Wars. I tried to put it on, and like 2 or 3 of them because they liked me as a coach or whatever. They're like, oh yeah, I'm down to watch Star Wars. Like that sounds interesting and stuff. And I'm like, how the heck do these kids know Star Wars?
yeah. Daniel Fisher fandom went through some weird periods. Anime had. I never got that into anime. Like I'm just starting to like the Star Wars anime stuff was different. 'Cause, like I knew what that was, and after I caught like one episode, I'm like, ooh, this is going deep. I like this. And then I didn't think I'd get into Invincible like I did, but I started watching. I'm like, this is.
Invincible's dope.
I was like, this is fucking amazing. I didn't even know about those comics, so like
Yeah.
I'm glued into this. But
You never got into like anime though.
like
Oh, dude, there's some good stuff out there, man.
so many people around me are like Dragon Ball Z. I'm like, I'm not into Japan animation, man. Like I was never.
Dragon Ball Z. Like, I'm gonna tell you this is like somewhat of a real anime fan. Like, don't get me wrong, I freaking love Dragon Ball Z. A lot of it's dope. But, like story wise, it's probably not the strongest show. Like anime wise, like it's dope, and a lot. Of, I'm gonna keep it real. Like a lot of it is freaking and then like charging up, and like
Yeah,
there's literally like 3 episodes I think where it's literally like they cut back and forth from like what's going on off like out over here to Goku freaking charging up through the these 3 episodes. Like it's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, can he just charge up already? It's like,
Yeah.
show me what the heck happened. He doesn't need to charge up this long.
Yeah, man. Tim says I used to watch all the '90s cartoons. No doubt, man. '90s were like serious for cartoons. There's so much good
Yeah,
stuff. There's an
exactly.
animated Back to the Future show. There's so many that like, you don't even think about.
Batman animated series.
There was this one
Epic.
sick one that Batman's like legendary. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But there's this one obscure like cartoon show that like nobody ever talks about or knows, but I have like in my mind. It was like Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, and Bo Jackson, and they're like superheroes almost. But like they have like weapons like based on like the sport they play and stuff. I don't know. Nobody in the chat is gonna know what the hell I'm talking about. It was like All Stars or something. I love that show as a little kid. But
For sure.
oh man, I just caught up on the old Spider-Man animated, and I think I'm gonna run through X-Men now because I never like actually got through
Nice.
the whole thing in succession. That's gonna be my
Yeah, I've meant to.
next one. That might get a little bit crazy for the kids, but I don't care. Like, we'll find that out.
Do it.
Yes, Pro Stars, Daniel Fisher. Thank you. I thought nobody else knew the
Hey.
answer.
Came in clutch.
Damn, man. That was a wild
For
show.
sure.
There's so many good shows.
Yeah, there is a lot of good 90s shows, bro. Definitely.
Oh, how the hell are you gonna make it like 3 more hours to do this
Me?
watch party?
I don't know. I don't even know how. Like, I was planning on doing a video, but I've just been so busy. I'm like,
Yeah.
I might just try and take a nap, but I might not take a nap too because at this point, like, I mean, it's like 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you
we'll see.
are you hanging with people after that too for a little bit or not?
Yeah, I'm gonna go on my channel. Probably won't be done till like 2 a.m. here.
Are you working tomorrow?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, bro.
You're on the West Coast though?
Yeah.
Oh, you got a little
I-
easier though.
I go into work at like 6 a.m. though too.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
I mean, it's still rough, man.
No,
Last week I didn't end up falling asleep till closer to 4, and then I just got like an hour and a half of sleep probably.
But you
Well,
damn West Coasters get Disney Plus at 12 a.m. and I'm sitting over here waiting for it.
being a creator, bro. Being a creator keeps me up at night.
Like it's 11:30 right here, right now where I'm at. So like I'm never making it. That's why when I say like, dude, I'm really gonna try and make the watch. I've made it one time to watch one of those.
No, I don't blame you though. That's crazy for you guys. Like they really should do it 12 on the East Coast, but it's because Disney is based over here and then Burbank and everything. Like I think I could freaking drive there.
Yeah.
It's because they're based here that they do it on Pacific time and LA and whatnot. But
I just
they
noticed
should do that.
I was just looking at my phone for noties. Is this actually in real time? Normies to Nerds is starting right now. You seeing that?
My bad. Josh just hit me up.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, you're good though.
Yeah, Kendall's starting up, I think.
The breakdown.
Hey,
So that'd be like a perfect time to cut it and then go crash his party, right?
yeah, I think that's a great idea. Let's go show him some love. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed hanging with me and Green Bear. Green Bear over here doing some fantastic work. So thank you for having me on.
Appreciate the love and come back anytime. Anytime.
For sure, man. For sure. Thanks for having me again.
Thanks everybody.